Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. I've been doing a series of videos where I take rocks that I purchase or find and I make a cabochon out of them. This week we got a piece of banded amethyst. Let's make a cabochon. This is this week's rock. It's a piece of banded amethyst. I bought it at the rock shop in Keystone, South Dakota. I'll put a link in the description down below if you ever get out there. Now here's the rough rock. I've already kind of sliced it up, took a slab off it. Had to kind of cut a corner off here so I could do that. The problem with these rocks, I mean, they're pretty and all, but they're machined and run through crushers. And what it does is it fractures, puts a lot of fissures and fractures in them. This whole side here, not looking too sharp. So this will be the back side, and then we'll try to, this will be the show side here. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to come down this side here. We're going to do this ladder cut because I saw a couple pictures of these amethysts with the ladder cut, and it looks really kind of sharp, I thought. So we're going to go with the 1.5 inch one. We're going to try to stick it up in the top as far as we can. And right about there. And take my ultra fine Sharpie here. I'll mark this out. And my template's moving a little bit, but I think we're okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. So if you're interested in, I had some wooden templates. If you've watched my series before, you've seen them. And people were asking if they could get them, and I didn't want to sell the wooden ones because they warp like crazy when it gets humid out, and I didn't want anybody complaining about that. So I made some plastic ones. Obviously, they're not see-through, but you know, a lot of people that sell them aren't see-through. I got them on my Etsy page. If you're interested in them, take a look at them. I got 5 different patterns. I'll probably get some more on there eventually. But yeah. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This will be the show side over here. So we're gonna take this down on the trim saw. We're gonna trim this piece out here, and then I'll take it over my grinder or a cab machine, and we'll grind down to the edges. And then we'll put it on a dop stick, and then we'll make cabochon out of it. So let's head downstairs and start cabbing. Okay, we're down here on my 5-inch trim saw from High Tech, which not my favorite, but it works. So here's our piece of banded amethyst. We're going to trim out around this, and then we'll take it over to the cab machine. Alright, that is close enough for me. This stuff kind of breaking off, so I got to be a little careful here. So let's move over to the next machine. Alright, we're over here on my Kingsley North 6-inch cabbing machine. And we got a set of wheels here. And this is the 80 grit. Got a 220, got a 280. And then on the other side, not in the camera, there's all my polishing stuff. So I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to grind down almost to the line. It depends on how bad it starts chipping out with the 80 grit. And then we'll grind down to the line on the 220 grit, and then we'll use the 280 grit to take all the grinding marks out from these two wheels here. All right, let's go. Alright, that's about as close as I'm going to get. Seems like it's pretty soft. I'll give you the Moe's one back upstairs. I don't have that with me. Didn't chip very bad along the edge here, so I got pretty close to the line with the 80 grit. So let's move on to the 220. Alright, got her down to the line. Not going in a bezel, so don't have to be perfect, but close enough. Now we're going to move on to 280 grit to take off the marks from that 220 grit. What do we got here for a shine if I can dry it off? Ooh, not bad. Get over here so you can see it. Oh, that's just 280 right there. All right, I think I'm good with that. We're going to put a dop on it, and then we're going to make a cabochon out of it. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, we're all dopped up here. Got the stick glued to the rock with a piece of wax, special lapidary wax. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to start grinding this edge off here until I get down. I'm going to make a flat spot called a girdle along the bottom edge here, about a 1/8 inch, 2 millimeters, kind of round in there, not exactly. And then once I establish that girdle there, I'm going to take the edge, one edge in, I'm going to grind that edge down, and I'll end up with a little flat spot right in the center here. And then when I get that looking okay, then I'm going to go ahead and start doming it. So let's get started here. Well, let's see. We'll start with the 80 grit, the 220 grit, and then the 280 grit, and then we'll move on to the polishing side, which is over on the right. All right, let's go. I think we did pretty good establishing. This is a pretty soft rock, so it's going pretty fast. Establish this girdle here, so now I'm going to put my pointer at. All right, so now we're going to take this edge and we're going to grind a 45 into that, and then we'll, like I said, we'll be left with a little flat spot here. Now stay away from your girdle you just established on the bottom here. You don't need to revisit that because you already established it. Okay, that's about as far as I'm going to go on this one here. You can see you got the first girdle here, then I got the second girdle here. And then when I'm pushing on the wheel, I'm not really pushing hard. You can't push super hard because you're going to snap the stone off your wax here. This stuff's not like super glue. So let the stone do the wheel do the cutting, and you just put a little pressure on there, and then just kind of watch what you're doing and keep moving back and forth. So now we're going to start doming it. So when you're doming this stone here, especially these ladder cuts like this, kind of watch this end here. You might have to go in and tip it a little bit. You know, try not to get into your girdle when you're doing that, because when you're just doming it, you don't really get out to the ends here and here. So you got to kind of make a little special trip to kind of grind them off. So we're getting kind of close. I think I'm going to take a little bit more off the top. I want it just a little bit flatter. All right, I think I'm kind of happy with that. So we're going to move on to the 220 grit. All right, I like that. And now we're going to move on to the 280 grit. Right? Because this stone's so soft, I'm not spending a lot of time on here. If I had a harder stone, I'd spend more time in the 220, but I think we're okay. 280 grit probably took everything out of here, even if there's some left over here. So now I'm going to break the edges here. Looking good so far. So now we're going to move on to the polishing side. So I'm going to shut you off here for a second. All right, now we're on the polishing side. We got 600, 1200, 3000, and the cerium oxide's right around the corner here. So we'll start with the 600. right, now we're going to move on to the 1200. Now on to the 3000. Turn the water down here a little bit, and we'll get it back. All right, now I need to see what kind of shine we're getting here. Get it dried off. Okay, that is with the 3000 right there. And notice there's a lot of little pores in there. So we'll see what the cerium oxide can do for us. Okay, we've got the splash guard in place, we've got the cover off, we're on the cerium oxide. We're going to see if we can improve this shine just a little tiny bit here. So let's try that. Alright, let's see what we got here. Find my towel. Use that, and I'll use my shirt. There you have it. Banded amethyst. Get a little light on it. Well, that's probably the best I'm going to do right there. Alright, well, I'm going to chuck this in the freezer. Then we're going to go upstairs and take a closer look at it. So we just pulled the amethyst out of the freezer. Got a nice clean break. I like that. Makes a lot less work for me. Let's look at this thing. So here's the amethyst. Here is the cabochon we made out of the amethyst, the banded amethyst. I got okay shine on it. I'm not really happy with the center right in here. It's got a little porous action going on in there, and it kind of clipped my shine a little bit. You can kind of just, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but there's one right there, and there's a couple more. The ends are freaking awesome. Got real good shine on them, but right in the middle, whatever this band here is made out of, it wasn't being happy for me. But it's nice. It's pretty nice, pretty purple color there. Got a couple bands, got a little extra wax filled in the holes. Couldn't get that out. But yeah. So here's the original rock. I was kind of hoping the bands would be more a little concentrated. They're kind of thin on this side. Probably should have took more of the stone off on this side, but it's such a angle right there, and it was a lot flatter here. But yeah, I think we did okay. So nice, beautiful purple color, and got a little white in there to inch it up. I'm going to put a bail on this on top here. I'm not going to do it on camera. There's the back. There's front. Now this will end up on my Etsy page if anybody's interested in it. Keep an eye out for it. I've been pretty good. I've been trying to get all the stones on from the other series too. I've been cranking them out pretty good. So there it is, banded amethyst. So you got to watch me take this piece of rough rock and turn it into a beautiful cabochon. That to this. So next week, I have a piece of, I hope I don't butcher this too bad, dumortierite. I'll put the name down below. I probably butchered it. It's a beautiful, kind of a powdery blue stone. I really like it. I've made some cabochons out of this stuff here, and it's been coming out really good. So I'd like to thank my subscribers out there. I'm watching the subscriptions go up, and to me that means that I'm putting out good content, and whoever subscribed and whoever hasn't subscribed or watched it, like it. And I really appreciate that. I really do. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Click down on the bar below. It's free. Don't cost nothing. And then slide over and give me a thumbs up, because that gets the analytics out there so more people can find my content. If you want to share it or ring the bell, go ahead, I guess. So appreciate you watching. That's all I got. I'll catch you later.